During the offensive operation in the south, the Ukrainian defense forces liberated almost the entire territory of the Dnipropetrovsk region. As reported by Tunyon, this was stated by the head of the main operational directorate of the General Staff, Oleksandr Komarenko, in an interview with RBC Ukraine. According to him, in total, the armed forces of Ukraine have liberated more than 400 square kilometers of territory.
A slightly smaller area has been cleared of enemy personnel who had infiltrated the rear zone. Almost the entire territory of the Dnipropetrovsk region has been liberated. There remain 3 small settlements to be dealt with and 2 more to be cleared.
Oleksandr Komarenko also said that the situation at the front is difficult, but under control. He noted that the Pokrovska and Oleksandrivska directions remain the most difficult, where the enemy has concentrated its main efforts.
We are gradually stabilizing the situation thanks to our active actions. Currently, the number of enemy attacks in the areas of Pokrovsk and Mirnorod has somewhat decreased due to the redeployment of their troops to the Oleksandrivska direction.
On March 9th, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrsky, stated that in 1 month, Ukrainian forces regained control over a larger area of territory than the Russian army captured during the same period. In his Telegram channel, he noted that this happened for the first time since the Kursk operation in 2024. According to the Commander-in-Chief, Ukraine's defense forces are trying to seize the operational initiative and force the Russians to play by their rules. Syrsky also said that Ukrainian troops are continuing their counteroffensive operation in the Oleksandrivka direction. There, the armed forces of Ukraine regained control over more than 285 square kilometers of territory in a month. The general also mentioned that Ukrainian defenders are holding back the enemy in many other directions as well. And in some places they are even making advances.
The most important news from the front lines. Ukraine's defense forces carried out a successful offensive operation in the south, as a result of which almost the entire territory of the Dnipropetrovsk region was liberated. This was stated in an exclusive interview by Major General Oleksandr Komarenko, Chief of the Main Operational Directorate of the General Staff. More than 400 square kilometers are once again under Ukraine's control. Which specific settlements still need to be secured? How did the paratroopers hold the line against the enemy, and why has the situation in the Pokrovsk direction begun to change? Today we will break down the facts straight from the General Staff. And for more details, check out our report. You are watching the Glavred channel. I'm your host, Yevhen Serov. If you enjoy this content, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Major General Komarenko recently reported that Ukrainian defense forces have already reclaimed more than 400 square kilometers of our territory. At the present moment, the Dnipropetrovsk region has been almost completely cleared of occupiers. This is the result of a large-scale and, most importantly, thoroughly prepared operation. Quoting the general, "More than 400 square kilometers of our territory have already been liberated. Almost the entire Dnipropetrovsk region has been freed. There are just 3 small settlements left to finish working on and 2 more to clear. It is important to note that in the liberated areas, measures have already been taken to clear the rear zone of enemy personnel who tried to entrench themselves there or infiltrate behind our lines. Thanks to these successes, in February alone, Ukraine managed to liberate more territory than was lost in the previous period. This is clear evidence that the initiative is shifting to the armed forces of Ukraine. Despite the success in the Dnipropetrovsk region, the overall situation on the front remains difficult but under control. The enemy is currently concentrating its main efforts in the Pokrovsk and Oleksandrivka directions. It is there that the fiercest fighting is now taking place. However, the active actions of the armed forces of Ukraine are already bearing fruit. General Komarenko emphasized that the number of attacks in the Pokrovsk and Mirnorod areas has somewhat decreased. This did not happen by chance, but as a result of the enemy redirecting its troops to the Oleksandrivka direction. The General Staff notes that the situation is gradually being stabilized. Our units are not just holding their positions, but are carrying out active countermeasures, forcing the occupiers to change their plans on the fly and redeploy reserves from one sector to another, losing momentum in the process. So what should we expect next? The General Staff predicts that during the spring campaign, the occupiers' priorities will remain the Pokrovsky, Oleksandrivka, and Zaporizhzhia directions. For the Kremlin, these are the areas where their main efforts are concentrated. The enemy's strategic goal remains unchanged: to establish full control over the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. In addition, they have set the goal of advancing as far as possible in the Zaporizhzhia and Dnipropetrovsk regions. That is why the success of the operation reported by Komarenko is critically important. It prevents the enemy from carrying out their plans in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The general explained that the operation in the south was fully planned and went through all the approval procedures. The main strike was delivered by airborne assault and assault troops, supported by mechanized brigades. This cooperation became the key to the success we see today. The liberation of almost the entire Dnipropetrovsk region is a victory of professionalism and courage of our soldiers. But the fight for every village and every meter of land continues. Do you think the armed forces of Ukraine will be able to maintain this momentum in other directions this spring? Share your thoughts in the comments.